Yo, what up? Ogechi here, aka Oaghaji, back with another video, and it's time for another review. Now, before I continue on, just want to let y'all know, as usual, that if y'all hear any talking, background noises, and all that, that's my family. So, now, with that out of the way, let's continue on. Now, today's review is going to be on the 1974 Hong Kong Kung Fu film classic, Five Shaolin Masters, as y'all can see. And I'm going to review this thanks with the help of the Volume 1 of the Blu-ray box set Shaw Scope, courtesy of Arrow Video. So, yeah. Now, Five Shaolin Master stars David Chiang, T. Leung, aka Dick Leung, Chik Chang, aka Chik Gwan, in Cantonese, Alexander Fu Sheng, Meng Fung On, Leung, and many, many more. And the fight choreography is done by Lao and Lao Wing, and is directed by Cheh, the legendary director who directed The One-Armed Swordsman, a lot of the films starring the Venom mob, especially the classic Five Venoms, aka Five Deadly Venoms, and many, many, many other films. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's continue on, shall we? And I'm going to use this disc, disc 3 of the Shaw Scope Volume 1 Blu-ray box set, courtesy of Arrow Video. And I'm going to read the synopsis and this pamphlet right here. So, here goes, y'all. The Qing Emperor fears the martial artists from the Shaolin Monastery, and so he gives orders to burn it down. Okay, sorry for the long pause, y'all. Most of the inmates who resisted the Manchus are either killed or dispersed. The lucky ones who escape include Hong Goon, in addition to the 5 men who flee to central China. There are Sai Dijun, Mao Sheng, Fung Hong, Li Shikai, and Hu Di. These 5 heroes try to join forces with other anti-Qi elements in central China. Among the Shaolin men is Ma Fuyi, a traitor who in league with the Manchu henchmen. Chen Wen Yao plots to destroy the Shaolin heroes once and for all. And that's the story I'm going to give y'all so far because, spoilers, right? Yeah, I think that the story in this particular movie is pretty good. Oh, sorry, y'all. Had this upside down. Anyway, yeah, the story in this is also is definitely pretty good in this film. You know what I'm saying? You have these, 5 practitioners of Shaolin Kung Fu decide to flee, and try their best to fight against, the Manchus again, and in the Qing Dynasty and things like that. And you'll see this in a lot of the Shaolin movies that Cheh directed with Lao as the main fight choreographer in them. I think along with his brother Lao Wing and sometimes, Tong Gai. I mean, y'all get the picture, right? The story is definitely pretty good, and the character development is pretty good, you know what I'm saying? All the characters have their development, you know what I'm saying? And, that all the cast, like David Chan, T. Long, Alexander Fu Sheng, Meng Chik Chun, they all did a fantastic job in their roles, you know what I'm saying? Now, I don't want to get, like I said, I don't want to get too deep into the plot because, spoilers, but, for those of y'all that watch this movie, y'all know what I'm talking about. The story isn't perfect, it does have its flaws, you know what I'm saying? I want to say more about those flaws, but again, spoilers, so, yeah, and I definitely recommend y'all watching this in Mandarin with English subtitles, avoid the English dub at all costs, just like I was said before in a lot of these films that I reviewed that have that option. So, yeah, with all that said, the story, characters, and acting all get a 4.5 out of 5 in this particular film. The action in this film is definitely pretty good. It's fresh off of the, the fight choreography on a lot of the what we call the basher films in Hong Kong and Taiwanese martial arts films that involve unarmed martial arts, you know what I'm saying? And they don't just feature Chinese kung fu, they also feature styles like karate, hapkido, judo, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, Muay Thai, you know what I'm saying, like in the one-arm boxer starring Jimmy Won Yu, you know what I'm saying. So it's fresh off the boat coming in from the Basher film era, where this is back to where a lot of the Hong Kong and Taiwanese film directors are saying, you know what, let's go back into doing traditional kung fu shapes. Let's go back into showcasing the traditional kung fu styles like Hung Ga, Hong Kun, Wing Chun, and all that, and Southern Praying Mantis, Northern Praying Mantis, etc. I mean, we've all, this isn't the first time we see these classical styles, you know what I'm saying? These styles were showcased before in the black and white martial arts films in Hong Kong and Taiwan, like especially in the black and white Wong Fei Hong film starring the late great Kuan King. You know what I'm saying? And cats like Lao Gaolin, Cheh, and all them say, let's go back into showcasing these traditional kung fu styles again, you know what I'm saying? Which is a good breath of fresh air, you know what I'm saying? So, along with the other films that Cheh did before this film, which is awesome. Um, Lao Gaolin and Lao Gaowing did a fantastic job with the fight choreography, especially in their background in Hong Kun, especially since they learned from their father, Lao Chang, who was the student of Sai Wing, who was the student of Wong Fei Hong. So, and they're very well choreographed, very well shot, and very well edited, you know what I'm saying, as well as the film as a whole. Even though most of it is shot in location in the Shaw Studios, as well as some of the new territories and whatnot, and the water lots in the Shaw Brothers Studios, but it makes it feel like you're in the Qing Dynasty era of China, you know what I'm saying, with the way it was shot, and edited and lit, you know what I'm saying, which is pretty awesome. Who can ask for more, right? So the action, cinematography, editing, and lighting all get a 5 out of 5, you know what I'm saying, especially in case of the action with some classic kung fu shapes. Now, the music in this film is pretty good. It mostly used library music, if I remember correctly, as well as traditional Chinese music. And for what I remember, the music was implemented very well and composed very well, so no complaints there. So the music definitely gets a 5 out of 5 as well. Overall, Five Shaolin Masters is an awesome 1974 Hong Kong kung fu film classic from Shaw Brothers and from the director Cheh. I definitely recommend y'all checking this out, you know what I'm saying, especially with the stories, characters, and action. So this gets a 4.5 out of 5. Hopefully y'all enjoy this review, you know what I'm saying. I apologize for the long pauses and if any brain farts and all that stuff like I just did right now, and being tongue-tied and shit. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about Five Shaolin Masters in the comments below if y'all watched it already. If y'all like this video, y'all can hit that like button and share it. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell to keep y'all notified of the uploads. Y'all can also follow me on my other social media accounts, and stay tuned for more other reviews and more other videos along the way. So with all that said, it's your boy Ogechi, aka Aghaji, signing out. Peace.